Today is the 21st of April. We're going to get ready to start putting some lettuce into the ground. I have here 6 different varieties, 5 varieties of lettuce and 1 spinach. And these have been hardening off for a couple of days. It's a nice overcast day. You don't want to be doing this on a sunny day. And we're going to get them into the ground. The beds are filled with some fresh compost that's been sitting in here, been rained in for a couple of days now. So let's get going. So the first things we'll do, gonna give them a nice soaking with water so that the roots aren't going to pull out when I pop them out of the cells. And while they're soaking in the water, I'll start getting the holes put in. So just a nice soak in there. Yes, the leaves are going to get flopped over, but that's fine. They'll survive. Nothing in there. So I'll get them going, and then I will start getting my holes into the ground. And here comes the sun. So to make my holes, I have here, it's just a shovel handle that I've never put a shovel head onto, and it does a great job to push down. And then I'll give it a bit of roll around and then makes a nice deep hole. These are going to go in fairly deep, so no need to be shy about that. So using my little diver there, or shovel handle, whatever you want to call it, I've made some evenly spaced holes for all of the plants. Now I had, in my trays there, I had 18 of every variety, but I'm just going to pluck out the strongest from each type, so basically pulling 12 out of each. And I think just for giggles I'll make a pattern out of them just to give some bit of variety. Why not? Because I can. So the sun just came out. So this is the red lettuce, and just taking it out of the tray here. Now I've modified these are from Menards, but I've modified them. You can see plenty of root growth there. Probably gonna lose a little bit of it when we pop this out, but I've made holes on the bottom, nice circular holes, so you can stick your finger up in there, or what I like to use, I have this marker that just fills that spot perfectly, and I'll shove it up inside there and it'll pop them out, so that'll be grand. That's one of the seedlings popped out, and all you really need to do is you're just gonna pop that down into the hole and give her a good push with your fingers. You're trying to get it down so that the soil just comes up to the bottom of those leaves. You don't want to have any kind of stalk poking up. Then you just have to push in the soil around it and repeat. So not too bad. It's a good idea to pop out the ones you need and then just slide them in right away, but you don't want to leave them exposed, because if their roots are dry out, then the plant's going to suffer. So there I just have the red lettuce. I'm just doing some diagonals here, because why not? So all of the reds are in. When I have everything in, this is all going to get a very heavy watering to make sure that the soil packs nicely around the roots. But just so you can see, I've got the soil coming all the way up to the bottom of the leaves. Looks like I got one buried there. That'll be all right. They're fairly hardy plants, so unless you really try, you're not going to break them too bad, but it's handy to have some spares as well. So we'll get on with the rest of them. Okay, so far I have the red salad bowl in, we have the romaine and the black Simpson. They're all coming in, and the stripe pattern is coming along, and I don't think I've screwed it up yet, and 3 more varieties to go. Just to show how simple the process is here, when you already have the holes done, you can pull out your plugs. So I have the spinach here, and you just gotta put your fingers on either side and you can just push it down into the ground and then just tuck it into bed. Just like that. and just get it buried up until basically the bottom of the leaves. Doesn't have to be precise. And here I just have them all lined up in their plugs, and just push them on down, tuck them in, push it on down, tuck them in. That's how that goes. So these are a little gangly because they were left inside just a little bit longer than I'd have liked, but can't really control the climate around here, so oops, that's a little futsy, but that should be all right. It'll recover. They can't all be perfect. I think I have a couple of them where there's two plants might be stuck together in one. That's okay, don't bother trying to separate them. If it's a bother later on, you can just weed out the weaker one and it'll be okay. Of course, these are ready to eat now. They're just tiny. Yeah, there's two on that. Two on this one here, but they're intertwined and I'm not going to bother trying to sort them out. So I'll just pot them in and they'll be okay. Just one more type to go and this will be done. Right, that's the lot of them into the ground. 12 of each variety is 12 sixes, 72. So I should have enough lettuce for a couple of salads in there. Last thing we'll need to do, well, second to last, we're going to give a good hefty watering on all of these. I'm going to use the entire watering can. And no, I'm not drowning them, but the point is to let the soil water in around the roots, and because the soil is loose under them right now, and we're just going to get them a nice soaking in, and then I'm not going to bother watering them again for a couple of days, so because that should be enough. I'll just go back and I'm just going to use the entire watering can. So what varieties do we have in here? So we have 6 varieties. This first one is just a red salad bowl lettuce. It's good for you picking the leaves, make your salads. This is romaine, so that'll form a head, so just leave it alone until it forms a head. This is, it's called Black Simpson, so that'll form a nice round head with ragged leaves. That is yellow salad bowl, so it's the same as the red, just a different color. This is spinach. We'll get a couple of weeks out of that once they get big, and then they'll once it gets warm, it'll bolt, and then you're finished. And then Rhapsody is a nice, it forms a nice leafy head. Think of the lettuce you'd put on a burger, kind of a thing. So that's what we had. The last thing I'll do. So I lied. I suppose I had one last thing. We're just going back and make sure none of these are hanging out loose. If they're loose, then they're going to wobble around in the wind. If they are, we'll just tuck up the soil around them just a little bit, just to give them a bit of firmth, which is not a word, but it should be a word. When I'm all done, just because these are, they've only been hardening off a couple of days, for the next couple of days, I'm going to leave them under a fabric cover like this. What I'm using is just water jugs to prop it up, but drape that across like I've been doing with the radishes in there, and then they should be sound. And that's it. Bye.